sometimes a film comes along with such originality and pull that you just really have to see it. The other day I saw a trailer that you're going to see in a few minutes, and I immediately jumped on the internet. So where can I watch this film? It's called The End. And it's a new film by the director Joshua Oppenheimer. And it's a post-apocalyptic film about, a family that are surviving in a salt mine after the end of the world, basically. And this film is including lots of stars, Tilda Swinton. Also, we have in the film George McKay. And our next guest, we're delighted to have with us here, Michael Shannon. And we're going to talk about the film with Michael Shannon. But first, we're going to watch the trailer.
Mom, in the beginning, did you ever consider inviting more people?
Who could we trust? We had to think about you.
The seconds ticking past so fast. Before you notice them, they're gone.
Someone's here.
Forever.
Can you see how she got in?
No. And there's half a mile of rock above us.
We live here.
We must be a family.
What about your family?
They're gone.
So you're alone?
When I close my eyes.
When I was little, people came. Sometimes they seemed nice, but it always ended in the same way. They'd try and kill us every time.
Forever.
I just don't understand why she's here. It's like she has an agenda.
An agenda? I don't see what...
You don't see.
I'll never feel a storm blowing warm and wet. I'll never see the hills dark in silhouette.
I think I like her.
But you've never met anybody before.
Time for me to black.
And I know it can't turn back.
What if we just left this place?
There's nothing out there.
You must be very brave, what you went through. We did everything to save you, if you only knew. What the hell did you tell her?
None of it's true.
And that was a trailer to the new film, The End. And we're delighted to have one of the stars of the film, Michael Shannon, here with us at the We Don't Have Time Davos Hub. So what can you tell us, Michael, about your character, Ed, in this film?
Well, I play a character called Father. You never actually find out what his name is, but he was an oil tycoon. He made a lot of money off fossil fuels, and with that money, he built a bunker underground for his family to live in once the world was no longer habitable due to climate change. And in the film, you see that they've been down in this bunker for quite some time. He and his wife, played by Tilda Swinton, have had a child down there who was born underground, never saw the surface of the earth, and they've been raising him kind of to be the shining example of humanity. Yeah, he's a conflicted person for sure. He does ultimately have some remorse about what he did, but he's also trying to keep a positive attitude. Yeah.
So, Michael, what attracted you to this film, to this project?
Well, I just thought it was such a fascinating concept to imagine into the future this way about what it would be like to be in a situation like this underground in this bunker. And the filmmaker, Joshua Oppenheimer, is a fantastic documentarian. He's made two incredible films, The Act of Killing and The Look of Silence. set in Indonesia, and those films moved me very much. So I was curious to work with him because this is his first narrative feature.
What would you like for the audience to bring with them after having watched the film?
Oh Lord, I don't know. There's so much in the film about humanity and about the conflicts, I think, that are in all of us. You know, one of the reasons Josh didn't give any of the characters names is because these characters really, I think, ultimately are archetypes, and they're meant to symbolize all of us. You know, I am the father, Tilda is the mother, George is the son. That he really wants everybody to imagine, to put themselves in the position of these characters and feel and think and consider everything that they're going through in a very personal way, which is why it's a musical. We haven't mentioned yet that there's a lot of singing and dancing in it, which seems, I think, kind of strange considering the subject matter, but I think it was a brilliant stroke on Josh's part because it really humanizes the characters in a way and makes them, I believe, very relatable. So, yeah, I think it's meant to, first sort of way, be enjoyed as much as anything, but also to make people really consider what's happening right now and see if they can do anything in their own way to try and avert this crisis that seems to be coming our way.
Thank you, Michael. And in terms of the role of culture here and pushing the leaders to really act, what role do you think films and other types of culture can play in this push for leadership?
Well, I think they just keep the issue in the consciousness, you know. I find so often nowadays, so many of my friends so overwhelmed by what's happening that their strategy to deal with it is to just ignore it and to say, well, I'm not going to read the news anymore because I can't handle it anymore. And that's not a solution. That's really going to have pretty disastrous consequences if that's what everybody chooses to do. So I always try, when I make choices about the work that I am involved in, and you have to be gentle with people. You can't just punish people because a lot of people don't really deserve to be punished. They're not bad people. They just, I think with films, you have a way of keeping these issues in the forefront, but in a way that is creative and potentially inspiring and more complex than simply giving people information.
Thank you very much. Here at WEF, what message would you like to convey? I mean, you have lots of followers, people just gathering around here, seeing you on this stage here. And we have many viewers that will be watching this also afterwards, and many of them are political decision makers and leaders. So is there a message you would like to convey or a call to action based on your personal experiences also from making this film?
Well, I think the predominant message, and it's a pretty simple one, is don't give up, you know? Don't give up. There's too much at stake, and it's worth fighting for. I've been concerned about climate change ever since I was a teenager, which was a while ago. I've actually made other films that I feel are connected to the climate change crisis, and I'll keep making them if I feel like they're creative and innovative and can push the discussion in a constructive way. But yeah, I think I've only been here a very brief period, and just last night I met so many people that are doing such wonderful work, and it really fills my heart with joy. It's such a beautiful thing to see people, in the face of all this adversity, still be inspired to try and create change and create ways of of protecting humanity. And that's really what we're protecting. A lot of times I think people get confused. They think we're protecting the earth, but the earth will be fine.
Indeed.
We'll be the ones that are gone. So the earth will regenerate and figure out some other way to continue on. But we, for our own sakes, have to continue this fight, this struggle against, and it really comes down to money. And it's an old, tired cliche, but it really is true. Money is the root of all evil. And because the technology is there, the innovation is there, we just have to buy into it. And it may temporarily change our economy in ways that some people are uncomfortable with, but we don't have a choice. We have to do it.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. And the film, could you say just a sentence or two about where we can watch it?
Well, it's already been out in America, but I believe it's coming definitely to Sweden and Denmark quite soon. I know it'll be out in England, I believe, in March, and it'll be popping up. Just keep an eye out for it. It's called The End, and it's by Joshua Oppenheimer. And if you haven't seen his other films, The Act of Killing and The Look of Silence, I recommend those too.
Well, thank you very much indeed, Michael Shannon, for joining us.
Thanks,
Thank
Katarina.
you.